What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, Cali Hood Media Reactions, right? Where we react to all types of social media content as it occurs on social media. We bring it straight to you, right? Across all social media platforms. So with that being said, if you guys could go ahead and hit the like button or hit the dislike button, it helps me to know if you're liking the content, if you're not enjoying the content, right? And another thing, make sure you guys go ahead and smash on the all notification bell. I can't stress it enough. Make sure you turn on the all notification bell so you will be notified whenever I drop a video, whatever hour it is. If you do miss it, you can come back around on your time, bust back around the block on your time and rewatch it when you have time, right? And you won't miss any updates, any notifications that have to do with the channel, right? And another thing, if you haven't subscribed to Cali Hood Media Reactions, consider subscribing to the channel, because here you're highly appreciated, right? And with that being said, make sure you drop a comment after this and let me know, right? So as you guys all know, Cholo Juan coming out of the city of Oxnard and Swifty Blue coming out of the east side of Paramount, Los Angeles County, had just did an interview, right? Sat down, did an interview, and it was actually a pretty interesting interview. Shouts out to Cholo Juan, shouts out to Swifty Blue. It was a really interesting interview, right? And in this interview, they touch on various topics, right? And one of the two topics that really caught my attention was the Pastor Silver Lake and King Lil G, right? Kush Stocks issue. So let's talk a little bit about the situation. So as you all know, Swifty Blue was working for the Crime Family. He was signed to the Crime Family label, right? So Cholo Juan asked Swifty Blue, how does he feel, now knowing that Mr. Criminal was, an alleged officer, right? So with that being said, we all know what he wrote and what he said on paper. A lot of people say it doesn't count. It is what it is, right? So Swifty Blue basically breaks it down and says that he never really interacted with nobody from Crime Family in person. He says that every time he interacted with Pastor Silver Lake, it was over the phone, and it was never in person. And you know what? I gotta say, for one, Swifty Blue, I gotta back him up on this, because when I was gonna work for the Crime Family, and I was supposed to have a little, meet up with Mr. Criminal, Pastor Silver Lake, he always went around meeting up, every time it was close to that date. On this day, he would say, on this time, if somehow, some way, I wouldn't hear from him for days, or something came up, I was really trying to meet up with Mr. Criminal in person. Like, I really was trying to meet up with him and see, what's up with him, like in person though, and that never happened. Mr. Criminal always played the mouse game, as you all know, right? He was playing the mouse game, like he was always hiding. I don't know why, though. It's weird. I thought it was just me, but Swifty Blue said the same thing, so it's just a trip, but Mr. Criminal, Pastor Silver Lake, was on air talking all that high power, right? But as you all know, he does say that, when he would put music on Mr. Pastor Silver Lake's channel or anything to do with him, he said that Pastor Silver Lake would do it over the phone, and he would send him the videos. Mr. Criminal never tapped in with Swifty face to face, Pastor Silver Lake, right? And I never tapped in with him face to face. And when we would set up dates, he always flaked on me. So Swifty Blue is definitely speaking facts on that one. So now let's push forward to the King Lil G issue, right? King Lil G, Kush Stocks. We all remember King Lil G went on Mr. Silver Lake's podcast, and he was basically bad-mouthing Swifty Blue, right? He was pretty much saying that he slapped Swifty Blue, and Swifty Blue didn't do nothing. Of course, the internet ran with it, because at the time, Swifty Blue was one of the most controversial Chicano rappers coming out of Southern California, right? So everybody ran with it. They made content on it. Swifty Blue fired back at King Lil G and said, post a video. Where's it at, right? So Swifty Blue says in this interview till this day that it didn't happen, that there was a lot of people videotaping it. He said King Lil G was lying about everything he said with Pastor Silverlake on that podcast. And he said for him yapping off the mascot out of the mouth, talking loud about Swifty, he says now it came back around and bit King Lil G, because come to find out, Pastor Silverlake, one of his, persons that he would make music with and podcast with, come out to be one of the biggest informants, and we saw what he said, the paper's right there, you can't lie. People are saying, oh, it doesn't count. It is what it is, right? But Swifty Blue does say that Sinner and Diablo from the east side of Banning gave him a lot of love, right? Showed him a lot of love. So with that being said, don't forget to hit the like, drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think about this wild situation.